back to Dubbzi Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. Over the past few updates, we've been working on the Ace Chemical plant over there, and I'm much happier with the new Ace Chemicals than the previous one. It screams Gotham a lot more to me than the old one. Very much like the Arkham Asylum. I think that looks a lot better than the original version as well. Now, I do need to order in several parts for Ace Chemicals before I can go much further with it. So what I'm going to work on in this update is the area below it, the actual raised platform area. I want to work out exactly where the Ace Chemical plant is going to sit in that corner. And once we've done that, I can then start mapping out the roads and get those all put down. It'll be so nice to get more details on there and get rid of that ugly filler brick and filler plate that we can see at the moment. So let's get around to that side of the table and let's get started. And the first thing I want to do with the Ace Chemical plant here is actually rotate it around by 90 degrees. I want to see how it looks if I put it along this way. Now, the reason for that is at the moment, I feel like this part here is hiding the rest of the details of the Ace Chemical plant. In hindsight, I think what I possibly should have done was actually built a mirror image of this. So this was down that end and so forth, but we're not going to be swapping it over. So I'm just going to rotate it around, see how it looks, and then we'll make a decision from there. The one problem with me rotating it around by 90 degrees is we have got the subway entrance here, which will be in the way. I don't think it's quite going to fit there. However, due to where I've got the platform at the moment and the entrance to it, I could possibly move the stairs down this way. Wouldn't be too much disruption. Again, due to the way that I've built this, it is quite easy for me to make modifications like that. So let's rotate that building around and see how it looks. And there we have Ace Chemicals rotated around, and I'm much happier with it this way around. I think having the tall structure right in the corner really does help with the whole look of it. Some of you did comment last update saying they found it looked a little bit out of proportion, but I think it was just due to the fact this area isn't built up just yet, and also that was the first part you saw and then it seemed to be getting smaller as you went away. This way round, I think it looks absolutely perfect. So I think that is definitely how I'm going to be positioning it onto the raised platform area over there. The subway works perfectly as well. That's just off to the right there. And that could be how workers get to the plant that arrive by train. So that's going to need to be staying as it is. Now, one thing I do want to do now is just bring the Joker's funhouse that we built and put it back up on the raised platform there. So let's just pop that up there and see how it looks. And there we have the Joker's funhouse in front of Ace Chemicals. I feel like although we've got the obstructed view of the bottom there, it doesn't take that much away from the Ace Chemical build. And this is more what I'd expect it to be like in real life. So you're going to have buildings obstructing the views from others. It's not something you really want to be seeing the whole of the front of anyway. And I feel like the key features of the build, like the chimneys, etc., and the curved end on here, having those where they are, works perfectly. As you can see at the moment, the funhouse is overhanging the raised platform area at the moment, so that is something I would need to address. And what I'd probably do is try and shrink the size of the Joker's funhouse. I think that'd probably be the best way forward. But what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to start mapping out the roads over there just to make sure that all of this is going to work. I think we got something sorted out here which has the potential to look how I want it to. So the road comes along here from the rest of the city. This part here is where ambulances would pull in to drop people off at A&E. So this is going to be the A&E entrance just here. The road will then veer round to the left here and then to the right. Straight on takes you to the front of Ace Chemicals, and then this part here takes you over to Arkham. So what I'll do is I'll put a gate there with a security officer, for example, just in front of the Ace Chemical plant. I think that would probably look good. And then that area over there, I'll probably just have it as a car park area or something like that. I'm not sure what else I could put over there. So if you've got any ideas, pop it in the comments. I'll be interested to hear what you say. And again, there'll be a fence coming along this section just here and going along there and then across this part here. So people in the plant can walk around to that section. The subway will come up here, and then what I'll probably do is have some steps that come up and then lead over to the hospital going over the top of the road. So that's the plan at the moment. So just need to see how it looks once it's all done. And there we have the pavement areas, pretty much I think how I want to have them. I'm just going to put the roads in now just plain grey roads. I'm not going to put any road markings in. I'll worry about that later, as I might have it so there are certain loading bays or filling stations for chemicals to go onto trucks, for example, but I'm not sure how exactly I want to do that just yet. So we'll cross that bridge a little bit further down the line. Now, this area just here is where the Joker Funhouse is potentially going to be. So that would be its footprint. So that's why that's lower than the same level as the road, as the building will actually sit on that, and then it'll be flush with the pavement area around it. Now, one thing I am thinking is I'm not going to have the hospital here. I don't think it's going to look right. I think it's going to be too close to Ace Chemicals. So what I think I'm going to do is actually move it down that way towards where the tripod is at the moment. So I think it'll be in a building and then the hospital. So what I'll do after I put the roads down here, which is what we're doing next, I'll then start looking at how I'm going to be covering over the train lines, the platform area just there. Part of it's going to have the train station above it, so that you can still see in through glass windows on the top of it, but the rest of it will be covered for the hospital and obviously the road that's going along there. And here we have the start of the road, and I'm not 100% convinced by the white line here. So think about it, doesn't look right, but it might just be where we've got this here and here. I think it just needs to be curving round there as well. I will change that over. I couldn't find any of the 4x4 cut plates which have got the curve on them. So once I found them, I'll put those in there and hopefully that will solve the problem. Now, down this end here, we will put a lot of lines in down there once I know exactly what I want it to look like. There's no point in me putting just something in there for the sake of it. I thought it'd be better just to put the grey bricks down. And it's so nice not seeing all of the multicolour filler plate we had there before. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the bridge back up for Arkham, the same one that we took to Brickon in Cork, see how that looks. And I'm also just going to pop the funhouse back up there. I know it's way too big at the moment, but it's going to give me a good idea of whether or not I want to reduce the size of the funhouse. And it's decision time with this part, and I'm really struggling to work out what the best thing to do is with the build here. Now, really liking the look of this area, how it's coming together now. Rotating the Ace Chemical plant was definitely the right thing to do. But the Joker's Funhouse is just causing me a whole load of problems at the moment in regards to its size. Now, I was going to shrink it down in size. However, the roller coaster is maximising the space in there. There's no spare space. I can't make the roller coaster any smaller. And the problem that I've got is if I do leave, even if I shrink this building, the roller coaster is still going to come out over the water the same as what it is at the moment, which will probably be to about where that shadow is in the water. So it's coming out too far. So it is looking more and more likely that I will be putting the roller coaster in Ace Chemicals. But again, Ace Chemicals, I'm not sure how well the roller coaster is going to fit on there due to the shape and size of it. So there's lots of experimenting and planning I will need to do with that. Would I be better off just putting more pipe work and things to do with the chemical plant in that area? That would possibly look more realistic and better. Yeah, just need to work on that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on the back burner for the time being, just have a good think about it. And I will, after all, go over to this area. I was going to sort of like postpone doing that till next time and start modifying the funhouse, but I think that'd be the wrong decision. And this is where we're working now, and just got to work out how far over I come with the raised platform area. I want to have some glass over part of the station and the platform, sorry, but I'm not sure how much. I'm thinking possibly to bring to about here with the platform area and then just have a smaller section of glass on there. I want to make the train station look really unique and have a real Gotham vibe about it. Unfortunately, we've only got one platform up the top here, which doesn't seem realistic for a city like Gotham, but it is what it is. We've just got to play with the space that we've got available here. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to utilise these support pillars, which were mainly decorative previously, and they are actually going to help to hold up the raised platform area. We'll join the raised platform here over to here on the top here, so we'll put a couple of rows of bricks. We need to have the road going across here as well, and I think I'm going to have to bring the road up a little bit so that it clears the stairs just here as well. So lots of planning to do with this. So let's get our thinking cap on and work out how we're going to attach it all together. And that's the majority of the work done on this section, and relatively happy of how it's coming along. It took a little while to get there. I had to make a couple of amendments. I did have the road, or the part where the road's going to rest, about a brick lower, and then I realised the Mills plate, or the raised platform, is actually taller on this side than it is down there. It's about a brick or two lower, so I thought I might as well make the road at this height here. It just gives it a little bit more clearance under there, which I think is going to work well. Now I need to put the supports down on here. I'm going to put a couple there. Need to build the brick wall here for the road to sit in, but I also need to strengthen this up as well. It's not too bad, however, I want to give it as much strength as possible. So I think if I just put some plates on there, that should do the trick. And as you would have seen in the time lapse, we have put some lights underneath the art plates there as well. So that's going to hopefully give me just the right look under there once it's all completed. So let's carry on building all the walls up and get that all strengthened. And there we have the road all in place and the support pillars on the side. And there's quite a bit of strength on there, so I'm happy with how that's all come together. I've only put a couple of plates on here, as I'm not sure what height I need this to be at, so I didn't want to put loads of plates on there and then have to put bricks instead. And yeah, so I've just left it for the time being, just put a few, just to give it a little bit more strength for the time being until I make a final decision on that. But it's so nice seeing the roads on here, and with the white line that's curved around the corners. I didn't show earlier how I've gone about doing it. I've done this in a previous video, so I've got another curve in the city, but we've used the grill wedge pieces in here, and then so you've got them in pointing opposite directions, then a tile just resting in between. Then here we've got a 45-degree slope and an inverted slope, and again it's just wedged between the two. Over here we've got a cable coming up through the Technic brick, Technic plate, sorry, and that's going to be providing the power to the subway below. I'll probably also connect the base chemicals to it as well, but what I'm considering doing is actually building like generators that will be providing the electricity to Ace Chemicals, and then actually hiding the battery box inside of that. So I thought that'd be quite a good feature to have on there. But the one thing I really need to do still is work out what we're going to do with that funhouse. Should I keep it, shrink it down in size, or just do away with it altogether and just concentrate on making Ace Chemicals where the Joker's having all of his fun? So I want to make sure this looks right, but yeah, tough decision to make on that one. And here we have the lights on in the train station, and so pleased with how it's looking. It's got such a nice atmosphere about it. I am going to put a couple of bricks up in front of the bulbs just so that when I'm filming it doesn't show as much. At the moment I feel like there's just a little bit too much light coming through towards the lens. It's perfect amount of light going downwards, so these Gamer Bricks lights really are doing the trick. So thank you so much to Gamer Bricks for sending those through to me, and I will leave a link to their website in the description of the video and highly recommend checking them out. Remember, if you use the affiliate link or use the code Dubbzi, you get 25% off of your order. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you're watching on your mobile, if you could hit the like button, that'd be appreciated. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, again, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by. Until next time, bye for now.